All right, we're live. We're in the
Oh,
shop, and we're going to be testing some real world scenarios, things that you don't want to do. And we got Tools of Souls with us.
I'm in the back.
I see that.
He's like, that guy, he doesn't need to be on the screen.
Oh, my goodness.
That's all right. I get it. You know, with me on the screen, you are the second or third best looking person on your stream.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
I do like the comments though. Anybody watching this later, if you don't have the live chat on, you're missing out.
Yeah, we're not even going to post those up there today.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
So what's going on?
You know, just living the dream, deciding whether I want to go back to work or not, or whether I like the retired life. That's kind of what's been going on. And
Peppy, hang on.
Yep.
This isn't what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. Oh, okay. Yeah. We got the lever nuts from Wago.
Oh, very nice.
And we also got the push-in style. And they are true Wago. They're not cheap knockoffs. These are UL listed, ETL listed Wagos. And we got listed wire nuts here.
Yeah. Why don't you show everybody your Hyper Tough stuff?
My Hyper Tough. Oh, I own a Hyper Tough.
Joshua Wilson. And
I own a Hyper Tough. It's official. It was an accident. I didn't know it was Hyper Tough.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on? So we got two different types of Wagos. The 221 Wago lever nuts, push style, and tried and true. These are all tried and true. But anyway, what we got going on is all kinds of stuff. Let me show you. Don't even know where to start here. We got so much going on. All right, so let me get you closer as that light falls. Okay. I'm going to lock these feet down. There we go. All right, so you can see my beautiful extension. Now, I've seen a really famous YouTuber cord, so I figured I would also like to have an extension cord on my walls while I teach y'all about electricity. Oh, that's just poking fun, man. I got no hard feelings, but for real, if you're gonna teach somebody what to do, don't have an extension cord in your 2x4s. All right, that's all we're saying about that. Now, what we got here, this is on the other end of our vacuum. So this is number 12 Romex. Our vacuum is going to be pulling about a 10 amp load. And the other side of this is very beautifully plugged into our receptacle here. Now we have three means of protection here. We have a switch here, and you'll see this GFCI here. Let me show you. That's off right now, and now it's on. So let me see here. Okay. I don't know if you can see that green light on that GFCI over here.
Oh, we've got a great look at the other one.
I figured. Can you see that green light or not? The green light's on right there. Doesn't matter. Green light's on. We're GFCI protected. This plug here is still off by the switch, and then I can turn off this by pushing this off button. So I've got two ways to make sure that we are being safe because, frankly, this is dangerous. So we're on a 4x4 suspended on the vise. This table is metal, so we're going to try to stay away from that. We are going to energize this can fully. I'm going to energize the body of this panel and use it as a conductor and show you guys how certain connections do and don't work and why we don't use self-tapping screws. We're going to see if we can get a millivolt drop across different connections. Things are going to get hot. It's going to be really interesting. So this being our load, what we're going to do, we're actually going to, and if you're not an electrician, you might not understand this. I'm doing my best to explain it. I've been told I'm really good at that. The neutral is a return path, but it's also the ground. So generally, it's safe to touch so long as you don't get in between the connections. If you do touch a ground that is energized, hopefully everything around it is also bonded to the same potential. That way you can't get shocked. But if I was to touch a different kind of ground while I'm touching an energized ground, you would get that difference because the other ground is going to be a different voltage. I hope that makes sense. But essentially, what we're going to do here, we are going to energize this can using the neutral and not the hot. The return current still comes back on the neutral. So you're going to see the equal amount of current, and you're still going to get all the sparks. You're going to get all the hot spots. You're going to be able to see everything on our infrared here. And this is just to prove to you that neutrals do carry current. And if this was a ground, this would absolutely happen. And this is why you don't use self-tappers and things like that for bonding. So, yeah, here we go.
What's up, Paul? Jonathan Sherwood, while you're on the road, stay safe, my friend.
Now, Tuesdays is like the short... don't finish the sentence. The short time. We are going to get out here in about 45 minutes to an hour. And there might be a part 2 on Sunday of this. We're going to get...
On Sunday?
Not Sunday, sorry.
Thursday.
Thursday. We're going to maybe pick up where we left off here. We'll see how far we get. Let's start energizing some stuff.
Do it. Yeah, on Sunday, we're going to be helping other YouTubers with their content and making it better. So if you are a YouTuber, if you're out there and your baby's struggling, having a hard time of it, hit me up on Instagram. That's I'm easy to find. I'm Tools with Souls everywhere. Hit me up on Instagram and let's see if we can help you.
So I don't know if you saw my recent video here, but this is the Kyoeats digital multimeter, and I've used this thing to troubleshoot. Buddy had some issues, took it over there, and man, this thing was awesome. So really happy to have this. This thing should have millivolts, and we're going to test that today. Like I said I would in that video, we're going to check millivolts. Now what millivolts is, it's less than a volt, obviously being milli. And if you know the, was it Roman numerals, I guess, you would know that we're at less than a volt. So what you have would be, for example, if we had a lug here, sitting here, and we had a wire in the lug.
That's your knuckles.
Well, my bad. Had a wire in your lug like this, and this screw is loose. You would be able to put your multimeter here on this wire and here on this lug. And you would get a different voltage because the screw being loose was dropping some voltage across the load. Now you can only see that when the power is on and also, you know, fairly high. So we're going to be putting 10 amps through here. It should go without saying 0.10 will stop your heart. 0.30 will fry it. We're going to energize 10 whole volts, 10 whole amps on this can. So, yeah, that way we can see some sparks and stuff.
Paul wants to know what's the maximum voltage on that meter.
You know, they say 1,000. See if I can find it here. 1,000 DC, 750 AC.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it is. Yeah, DC to ground 1,000 and max 750 volts. Says it right there. It looks really clear on my screen. I don't know about you.
No, but we'll take your word for it.
All right, sounds good to me. The one thing that I would say that you can make this meter better, hope Kyoeats is listening here. this case here, this is after using it in the field, so a little bit of experience with it. If you want to get a little strap, put it behind here like the Klein has, snap that back shut, and on that strap has a magnet hanging off of it, you'd be able to do this. Could you see that, or were I not in frame?
We could see the Kaiweets.
God almighty. Sorry, this screen on this camera is bigger, and then it's a mess. Sorry.
Aim in the center of that screen.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me do this so we go widescreen a little bit for a second. Snap this off here like this. And then stick you Cordura, whatever your tool belt's made out of. Even cut the back off of an old meter case for all I care. Klein bags might work good. Get you a magnet on the back of it. Snap it in there. Put this case back around it, and then you got something very similar to this going on. You got a magnet here.
Yeah.
You can snap it to your panel and read your voltage. All right. So we should be able to set that up right there. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. That's cool. Nice.
23.1.
Yeah, it's just doing whatever. There's no leads in it. I think I'm just going to take all this sheathing. No, I'm not. We're going to cheat though. Push that back on there. There we go.
Here comes the yeah.
The yeah.
That was a horrible movie, by the way.
Here comes the bang.
Yeah. Kevin
James.
James.
Jack. And don't you ever forget it. Makita Jack. Makita Jack, yeah.
He forgot off. Hey.
Let's check out these lever nuts. Let's do that first. These are 221 Wagos that are not in frame. There we go. 221 Wagos. And we're going to hook up the hot here. And we're going to hook up the hot to this other side because we're going to use the neutral anyway. So let's
I was tired today, Jamie. I just ate and it was rice, so I'm getting MSG. Making me sleepy. And I think my half a gallon of coffee is wearing off.
Now I'm kind of I don't know if I want to attach the ground on this. Now usually you would want to attach the ground. In this case, with what we're doing, the ground is actually our enemy, because we're going to energize this box. So we're actually not going to attach the ground, and you don't need a ground for GFCI protection. You need a neutral. That's why you call this a grounded conductor, and you call this the grounding conductor. Yes. So we're actually going to cut this thing as flush as possible. Now we're just going to unplug it from the receptacle here, and just not connect the ground, because what we're doing is not something you should be doing at home in a professional setting. Of course, YouTube.
I feel that way about a lot of the stuff you've been doing.
I mean, lately, yeah. All right. We're actually going to strip more of this off so we can have the wire exposed.
All right. If the unfortunate happens here and he begins to smoke without cigarettes, which of us is going to be the first to laugh?
It's going to be you, probably. Look, I literally used the Wago and I twisted it. Like the internet just exploded. Can you see it?
I can't see it, but I do. Yes, I do see it. I do see it. Oh my goodness.
That's just to keep everything in check so it doesn't move. You would never twist these with a Wago. That's pretty funny, actually. All right. Let's connect these using a push Wago.
We can't see that. All right.
That's okay. Connect these using push here.
He's gonna push in his Wago.
I didn't go in. And no push. There we go.
You can go over and ask Ed yourself.
And we'll just, for the sake of it, we'll attach the grounds because it's a freaking habit. It looks better whenever someone's zoomed in on stream and they're midway and they're clicking through my video and they're like, why didn't he attach the ground? Well,
that might not be code.
Yeah. So essentially this cord goes back to our vacuum. This power goes to this plug. And this plug feeds this extension cord, which goes to the vacuum. So we're going to get a 10 amp load or so across these wires. I'll be able to see them with this. If they're less than 10 amps, we can use this multimeter and we can actually use it in series. And I can show you how to use a multimeter in series to check amperage because this one will do it up to 10 amps right there. And then we can start doing some voltage drop stuff. But let's see how we did because I haven't even turned this thing on yet. I have no idea. So hit our button. Okay, GFCI is on. I'm going to throw the switch. Don't blow up. Okay. Vacuum went on. Lights flickered. So we're hot here on the hot. You'll see the neutral doesn't even ring. I can touch the neutral. What I can't do, I can't get in between this neutral.
Uh-huh.
This would be, I mean, dude, you'd be so dead. Like, just touching this is fine. Look, I'm not grounded, so I can actually touch hot. Yep, hot won't shock me. Touching the hot.
You notice how he did that real quick just to make sure.
Just to make sure. Watch this. I'm touching this hot. Why am I not beeping?
Because you're not retaining water.
There we go. See how I'm beeping? Watch, I'm going to let go of this hot. See, my body's energized, okay? But I'm not grounded.
Yeah, now touch the other one with your
No. You do that at your toast. Toast. So that's show you we're hot. We're hot there. We're hot there. The ground is disconnected. Let's get an amperage reading on this. Don't ever do that. That's just for show. I'm wearing safety Crocs. See?
Now
safety Crocs. Got all that rubber.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Crocs were made for electricians. Yeah.
All right. Let's do go to amperage here. See if we can turn on the there we go. The vacuum is running still on this oh, we got 10.9. Dang it. We're not going to be able to use our other multimeter because it's over 10 amps. You can see that, correct? 10 amps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
10.79. Okay. So the question is, what voltage drop are we getting across there? Because we should be able to go from this wire to this wire, and we should be able to see a voltage drop difference, and that would be across this Wago, which you can't see because my camera's not up. Thank you.
We could kind of see the tip.
I mean, yeah, that's all you want to see, right?
Of yours, that's all there is.
All right, so got our neutral here. We should be able to go from point A to point B here across both of these. I don't know if you can see that clearly.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Okay. And yeah, let's see what we got. Let me take this knife off. Okay. So first off, the temperature says we're sitting about 75 degrees. Nothing too crazy. 76.
LGB.
All right, so we need some leads here. These guys are actually sending me another multimeter with a clamp feature that we're going to check out here pretty soon too.
Very nice.
That one should do 1,000 volts, 1,000 amps, I think, actually, which is insane to think about. This one does 400, I think, and it's plenty. Anything over 400, man, you're doing some serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say on here. I don't remember what this one does, actually. It's called the 640. It must do 640. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, let's put this. Everything is not. Can we see that?
It's in there.
Hang
Why
on.
don't you just take me off the screen? Put you on full screen.
I can do that.
Make it easy on everybody.
Paul W says, one
Yep.
can won't kill you. Yeah.
It'll give you a bad day, though.
Oh, no, it'll kill you.
Not with your safety Crocs on.
Not with safety crocs. All right. We're going to go to. What are we going to go to?
Paul, are you in Philly? I used to live in Bethlehem.
Hang on. Let me go here to range. Millivolts. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we're in millivolts here. We're going to see what we can read across this neutral here. We're getting 5.5.
Okay.
Let's see what we read across this lever nut.
We're getting a hand.
We actually get more across this lever nut, you know. This lever nut gives us 6.3. So everyone says, oh, these lever nuts are better, but they've never actually done these tests. Now, the difference of what was that, 0.01?
No. One was 5.5, while the other was 6.6.
So it's 1.0.
Yeah.
Millivolts. Not even a whole volt. We're negative. The difference of that is there is no difference. Like you're fine with either or. Like there's no problem here. You start getting up to 300 millivolts. That's when you got a problem. Your infrared camera will look white on one of them and probably orange on the other, and you'll know you got a problem instantly.
Yeah.
10 is completely acceptable, but we can put this to bed right now because I'm going to take this connector off and I'm going to connect a lever nut here, which and these things are more than $1 each. I get that they're really convenient and everyone wants to think that they're superior, and then when someone says that, everyone just repeats the same thing on the internet. And these are true Wago. They're not knockoffs. Yeah. But we're proving right here that these are not superior. Do they work? Yeah. Is there ever going to be a problem? No. Are they better? No, they're not. They're 0.1 worse, which doesn't matter, but they're still not as good. So take that. All right, we're going to turn this off. So we're going to turn off this switch. We're going to turn off this GFCI. We're going to turn off everything. We're going to turn off this GFCI. We turned off this switch. And we're going to check to see if it's hot with the voltage stick. And then we're also going to check on our multimeter here.
Paul, I escaped that area about 15 years ago.
Okay.
I left when there were people doing drugs in my backyard, and the police got upset that I had a gun. I mean a thing.
A thing. Chewing gum.
Yeah.
Chewing gun. All right, here we go. So we got a lever nut on now. Let's see if we get the same as this, because these are actually superior. Which I'm not surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Millivolts. Turn everything back on. That on. That on. And get consistency here. 6.3. Yep. What does this neutral say now? 6.3, dude. 6.3, 6.4. It's the exact same, and it should be, because your neutral and it's the same amount of current on both wires. So what we're seeing here is that these actually drop 0.1 of a millivolt, which is like, dude, 0.1 of a millivolt is nothing, but they're not better. Let's see what a wire nut does. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Everyone hates wire nuts on the internet. Let's do a wire nut. Let's turn all this off again. And since I've already proven that the neutral and the hot are the same current and everything, let's do this for fun. Actually, let's turn this back on. Check this out. Hang on. Let me turn off the lights.
What are we looking at? You're going to create an arc?
Yeah. Holy moly. Here we go. Should be able to see a good one now.
Well, there you go. Now you're talking. Hey, you might even get it to arc over to the other one.
That's so bad for my vacuum, dude.
You probably should stop doing that.
Yeah. So that's the neutral. That's the neutral. Yeah. So what happens is when you have arcing like that, let me find my light. Hang on.
I used to have a house down in Clearwater Beach. Gave it up because I never lived there.
Let me also turn this off. So when you have arcing like this, you have pitting and things like that. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this and show you the arcing. But what happens, you get oxidation, and this becomes instantly non-conductive. And we're going to do an ohms test here in a second to show you that now this actually doesn't conduct electricity. And now we're probably going to get more of a voltage drop across this, which is why I was arcing it so much. You can see the pitting there. We're going to see if we can get, I tell you what, I'm going to do it a little bit more.
Wait, Ed, are you saying that was you? Sounds like he's sending Morse code.
This is so bad, dude. Don't ever do this, guys. The wire's getting warm in my hands.
So, just
okay,
so we know,
so we got some arcing.
I want to have our story straight, so that when the popo comes and they ask us what happened, we can be like, "Oh, we were just watching the idiot."
We're just he's using his vacuum. He was using his vacuum live. Why did I turn off the light?
And he got his willy caught in it. I don't know how that happened.
Let's do this where we do the wire nut. Let's put this back on there. Remember, we had a 6.5, right? 6.3?
6.3, 6.4.
Right. So put this back on here. Now that we've had some arcing. Okay.
All right, Ed.
And we're going to turn it back on. Vacuum's on. Let's check the millivolts now. If only. There we go. We did it. All right. Let's see what we got. Millivolts to each one. We got 6.7, which is more, but not enough to. I mean, maybe. A result's a result, dude. That's 7.0.
I see that.
So you can see where you've already lost a little bit of continuity. Now, that wasn't even a bad arc. And that's me doing that. When you have a loose connection, the whole time it's arcing like that. The whole time. We only did it maybe 12. No, we did about 50 times. That's not BS. We did it about 50 times, okay? Think about that happening 20 times in a second rapidly for a month. And then figure out what that wire is going to look like. And then realize that we just lost 0.1 of a volt with only 50 arcs. And then realize what's happening in your house when you have a loose connection. And then think about that, you know, next time you go to run a self-tapper, which we're going to get into in a second.
What was the temp on that?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. So we were 75. We're 78 now. It went up a little bit.
Yeah.
The hot still stayed at
76 too.
76. We'll arc it again here in a second.
All right.
Okay, we're back off.
Since you're creating shorts, I think you should make a hot plate and make us all snacks. Man, I just ate, I ate rice, man. I should know better.
All right, now let's check a wire nut. And we're going to make the crappiest joint. We're not even going to pre-twist. We're just going to do this. Hang on, I need more wire.
Are you going to take the part off that you ruined?
Nope. because wire nuts are that superior.
All right.
We're still going to get less. We're going to leave the part we ruined. My prediction is a 2.4.
What's up, Alex? Is that a Makita temperature meter?
I got to change the color on it for it to be on Soul Stream.
Okay. I'll tell you, if you show up with one of those on mine, it's with the requirement that you smash it with a hammer.
So same thing here. Is my audio good? Is it loud? Are we good?
No, it's good. You're good.
Okay.
What's up, guys? I got to run to a meeting in a few, but glad I could make it by for a few. Well, we appreciate you being here, Alex. Wolf Code Tools.
All right, here we go. Here we have the neutral in the same fashion to where we can access the bear.
Yep.
And we have 4.5, 4.4. So still superior. But so wire nuts are the best, just in general. Like we can put that to bed, and then I could even do this. We could even leave it loose like that, and that's barely touching. That's probably arcing inside there. Let's see what we get with it arcing. 21, Ooh. 18, 16, 17. Now the vacuum's still running, so we're still pulling. See, with this meter, we can actually see amperage. We can actually watch amperage real time while we check millivolts, which is pretty cool. So you can see down here that we have 10 amps here, right? And that's a constant. That's not dropping. That's a constant amperage. So this motor is fully running. And then we go over here to this loose wire nut that we purposely did, and we're getting 10, 11, 12. And if I shake this a little bit, see what we get. 35, 24, 17. So you can see where this wire is technically loose in here. These are just barely touching now, where they're just laying on top of each other like this. And sorry for the glare, but I will tell you, we had 40 for a second. Whoops. We're going to go about 50.
Ryobi over Makita any day.
27. So you can see where you can actually, hang on, let me turn this off before I get complacent. There we go. So you can see where, loose connections come into play, how hotspots happen, things like that. You apply that to a ground that you need. And I made a short today. I don't know who caught it. I think it got quite a few views on it. Somebody had a screw that was 3 inches long. They drilled through the brick. They drilled beyond the panel, and they attached a lug like this to the painted case of the disconnect. And the only thing that was really bonding this to the disconnect was maybe like the edge of one of these threads here on a very aggressive screw, not even a machine threaded screw. And it's just a bad deal because they had the disconnect outside, which means that's their main disconnect. And the ground was coming off that disconnect, feeding the panel. So that was the whole ground to their whole house.
Yeah.
Riding on the edge of that screw for the next forever. So when we build electrical systems, when we build things, we build them to where when they fail, they're still safe. And that's what that thumbnail's about. You want to build something and design it to when it fails, it's still safe. The whole point of electrical code is to protect people and property. And that's pretty much the beginning of the book, paraphrasing there. And things are going to fail. If not, we wouldn't have breakers. If things didn't fail, we wouldn't have breakers. If things didn't fail, we wouldn't need ground wires.
Absolutely.
So
what's up, Shaka? And everything's better than Makita.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to attach some lever nuts here because I like them, even though they're not superior. It's fun to comment in the shorts and tell people these things aren't superior, and they're like, I don't know, I use them all the time, and it's like they're still not better.
He just likes them because they have nuts.
I've actually tested them. We know now that your average, lever nut drops 0.6 milliamps.
Mm,
Your average push-in Wago drops 0.5, and your wire nut still sits at a 4
absolutely.
with
Paul,
a
why don't you?
with a horrible connection, not even directly connected. And
Yep.
that's because a wire nut forces copper on copper connection.
Yeah.
Whereas one of these, if you look inside there, you're connecting this piece of metal to this piece of metal and making like a jumper. So it's just not going to be as good. It physically cannot be as good. Are they acceptable? Yes. Are they safe? Yes. Have they been tested and UL listed and guaranteed not to burn down your house? Yes, they have. So as long as they're installed properly, all this stuff has been listed, tested, and is in accordance with all the codes. There's nothing wrong with any of these. We got a UL listing right there on these lever nuts. When I say they're not superior, what I'm talking about is down to the microscopic level of being not superior. These things are still superior. Let's what's up?
Welcome to the stream, Shaka. We're glad to have you here. And Paul, why don't you trust breakers?
Doesn't trust breakers. Huh?
That's what he said. I don't trust breakers, to be honest.
Well, because sometimes they don't trip, maybe. I don't know. You don't really have a choice, though. You got to trust a breaker. Let's do this. Okay, power's off. Let's get these out of here.
I think he just likes taking that stuff apart.
They are easy to take apart. I will give them that. I mean, these are superior in the way that they're faster. These are $1 each, actually.
Yeah.
They're superior. They're faster. Your wires are just, it's better, but man, you can't deny a copper to copper connection.
Yeah, I prefer a wire nut.
I don't know what I prefer anymore. Sometimes when you got a GFCI, because GFCIs are considered deeper. GFCIs are way deeper. This is a standard GFCI, and they are a lot deeper in the back of the box. It's a hell of a lot easier to install Wagos on those wires, cram everything back there than it is to bring all three wires. They're twisted together, so it's like a rigid, conglomeration of wire, and you're trying to shove it in the back of the box.
Yeah.
Wagos are nice for that. I'll give them that. All right, we're going to put this in series, which means we're going to be in line, pretty much.
Big dog, there's no chance.
So we want to...
But welcome.
You know what we're going to do? We're gonna do a proper install, and then we're going to do crappy installs, and we're going to see what happens differently.
All right.
Right here, we have a bonding screw inside this panel. If you zoom in there, somewhere. Okay. It's right there. Where is it? Okay, we're gonna go lower. No, we don't. We're gonna go. What? Oh, okay. It's right there.
Everything's reversed.
Yeah, that's a bonding screw right there. So we are going to tighten the bejesus out of it. Make sure that it's definitely connected to the case, because that's what the bonding screw does. It bonds your grounds and neutrals together. The whole premise, the whole idea of bonding your grounds and neutrals together is that the power utility company provides you the neutral, which essentially is the path back to the transformer. The transformer is what feeds your house. You got maybe 6,000 volts coming on some power lines, and then you got a transformer which takes it down to 120 or 240 at your house, and that's your usable voltage. They bring a neutral with it. The neutral is the center of the transformer. It's essentially your 0 point. It creates your ground essentially. It's your 120 or 277 depending on what you got. It's going to be half in between your 120 and your 240, so it's like the center point. And they bring it here. It's isolated. It's floating on your panel.
Yes.
And what you want, the grounds, back to what I was talking about before, the whole point of the ground is for safety. If everything was safe, we wouldn't need grounds. What grounds do is they take the current off of anything that can be energized. So if you got a metal box, if you've got building steel, if you got columns in a hotel, pools, fences, anything like that can become energized, essentially the breaker is never going to trip unless you can get that current back to the neutral. So we're going to bring the current back to the transformer. That's the ground's job. It's called your equipment ground conductor. It goes on all your equipment that I just mentioned. And then you got your building grounds. Kind of mentioned two different things. You got building grounds and you got your equipment. On your boxes, your equipment grounds come in through here. They land on your ground bars. And your neutrals and grounds are bonded together to get the current back to your transformer so you can trip the breaker. So we bond this bonding screw at the first means of disconnect only. That way we can get current back to the transformer.
Sure.
That's what that screw does.
Yes.
Cool. We are going to land this directly onto this terminal here because that's what it is designed for. And while it is old, it should be reliable, I hope.
Yes, sir.
So let's tighten that there.
We all know he should be using power tools for this.
What? You should be using a square tip, though.
My mom always said.
Okay, we're tight there. And now we have the other side of the neutral here.
Uh-huh.
And what we're going to do, we're going to do one of the many options that we have. The code book says that we can use a machine threaded screw. So that's just what we're going to do. We're going to take a quarter 20 tap. Now, I featured these on the channel before. This is a Greenlee? What is this one? Yeah, this is a Greenlee. This is a quarter 20 tap. It starts the hole and then it taps your machine threads into your metal. The code says you need 2 threads per inch. Now, why do they say that? It's because if you have a larger bolt like this with larger threads, larger spacing, obviously you don't want to use a larger bolt on thin metal. You'd use this in quarter-inch steel, something like that. So when you get down to your smaller bolts that I just lost here, no, still lost it here. Down to your smaller bolts, your threads are a little bit closer, and now this is a more suitable install because this is, I don't know what, 3/16 inch metal, and your threads are closer. So this is a suitable install. We're going to get 2 threads, and this is the bolt we're going to use, and this is the lug we're going to use. And we should scratch the paint, but for consistency, we're not going to scratch the paint because that's what a lot of people do. So we're going to show you the power of having a proper thread without scratching the paint. And then we're going to install this copper lug directly onto the surface.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea, Paul.
So these are designed to go in your drill or driver, whatever you got. There you go. And that is threaded. Now we can take our lug and we can screw this right on. You can see how that threads in beautifully.
Yeah.
And we want this to be tight. So we do want a 7/16. Let's see if we can find one. All right. Nope. Oh, this is freaking metric. Oh, well.
You should have used the M12, but you probably returned it after you saw
The M12 is in the car, man. That's my go-to. That is my go-to. Hang on a second. Looking for something.
If it's your marbles, you lost those too long ago.
No.
Oh my goodness. What brand is that?
This is actually a Von Haas, and it's not bad.
It's very Amazon.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to land this in here, and then God help us all. Now, we didn't connect the ground for a reason, so... Actually, we could connect the ground to this, and it would be fine. We would do what you call a parallel path, which we're going to talk about that in more episodes to come. But essentially, a lot of contractors, especially solar, are installing parallel paths. What that means is you got two paths to the same location. And ideally, you don't want current on your ground wire unless you have a fault. In the code book right now, 690 supersedes Article 230, which is services, and supersedes some other previous articles. So it takes precedence, and then everyone just figured they're going to throw all the principles of grounding and bonding out the window, literally. And they are creating parallel paths to ground back to your panel. And like we talked about, being your transformer being the source, the neutral, your solar panels didn't create a neutral. Your inverters didn't create a neutral.
Yeah.
So when they bond their grounds and neutrals together in that disconnect, whether it's a line side tap or a backfed breaker, you are landing your grounds and neutrals at the same location, and then you're bringing them back to your panel at the same location. You're putting current on your ground wire, whether you like it or not.
Alvin, I'm with you. Alvin, I'm headed to the post office tomorrow, bud. It's 7 miles the opposite way of any direction I ever go. I actually have to make a special trip to the post office. So I only go one day of the week.
Okay, we are connected.
East Coast Ken.
We are connected. Holy moly. All right. What this is going to do, this is going to put voltage on this can. I'm going to show you, just like how I was energized earlier and I was not getting shocked. This can is going to be energized. And this is to simulate what would happen if you didn't have a ground wire. And then me without Crocs on, we're standing on bare concrete, whatever, you're outside, and you touch your panel's energized because it wasn't bonded properly. Your disconnect to your air conditioner. Your air conditioner is actually energized because somebody died here in Texas, and then they started making crazy rules. Your cases to your equipment to become energized if you don't have grounds properly connected. There's no way to get the current off of that case because they don't have the grounds connected properly. Someone that is grounded because they're not wearing shoes, they're grounded to the earth, touches that case, they're dead. It's that simple. There's no way to sugarcoat this stuff. It's all very serious stuff. So what were you going to say?
I was reading Anthony's.
Oh.
What's the closest depot to the post? So my closest Home Depot is over an hour away from my house. So you guys
what does this light do for us? Yeah, that light helps a little bit, right?
Like you guys get to see me driving, or you don't get to see me driving. You just get to see the results of my driving. But so the only time I head into town here in where I live is when I go visit my mom, and her nursing home is on the opposite side of town from the post office. So it makes it a pain in the butt to get over there. But I do manage to get there one day a week.
Anthony GM85 says, "What's up? This looks like my day at work." God almighty, I hope not. We'll show that later if you live. A ground is overrated.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to turn this thing on. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Okay, we are on.
Your lights actually flickered.
Yeah, they usually do. So, this is the neutral. I can touch this like this. And if I touch this, are we energized?
Now touch the black one. Oh, wait. No,
I'm good.
Bad. That'd be bad.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So we are energized. You can see here. See that beeping? You can hear it. Watch when I let go.
You're still energized.
Oh, hang on. There you go. We're more energized.
Ha!
There you go. We're close to the power, so it's just trying to beep. Let's use our other one. This one's the less.
Dude, Anthony, that sounds like fun.
Is that a no? Yes, no.
Oh, the auto ranging. Do you like them, Anthony?
Cool. All right, so we are energized. Let's get an amperage reading for the camera. We already know it's hot. But
Well, East Coast Ken, you've been paying pros for years.
10.86. I did this on the other live stream, but I'll show you again just for fun. This is what you call inrush current. So when you first start up a motor, the motor is very still, and it takes a lot of torque to get it to turn. You can add capacitors and stuff for soft start, just like, you could equate it to like the Flex, for example, or this DeWalt.
Curtis,
Nope, that's straight on.
Curtis, what is a certified electrician?
This is what you would call soft start. So we're going to be fully on, and it's going to slowly ramp up until it gets up to speed. So certain motors and stuff don't have soft starts. It's rough on the motor, rough on the windings.
Have a good night, Alex. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming. This is 10 amps here. Let's see if we can catch the inrush, because this meter should do it.
My question to you, Ken, is you do know you could have paid the women.
Here we go. Let's see if we can catch this amperage inrush. I saw 25. It might have been 225. Let's try it again.
Oh, that's good to know, Anthony.
You looking ready?
Yes.
No, that wasn't. Hang on. I better catch it on the hot better. Let's try again. 25. Yeah, that's about right. So you got 25 amps of inrush that we can capture. And we got 10 amps of current on this wire, which means this case is in fact grounded. Now, if you recall, we did a voltage drop. A wire nut was acceptable, or the most acceptable. Everything's been acceptable so far. We had a wire nut at 4. And we had, I need to write this stuff down. We had the push Wago at 5, and we had the other thing at 6, roughly 7, whatever it was, right? What were they? So we want to see what we have from this point here to this point here. And what you don't realize is that there's voltage on everything. So if we're reading millivolts across points like this, if I was touching here and touching here, I'm putting millivolts across my heart.
Right.
So we don't want to do that. But here we go. Let's see what we got. We're on millivolts. I'd like to stick this somewhere.
I know a place you can stick it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wouldn't be the first time either.
I was curious. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got from this lug through this wire and through this case back to here and then to this wire. We have 42.
Whew.
So we dropped 42. Now that's normal because we got a lot of connections going on. We have this connection. We have this connection. We have this bonding screw. We have a screw that's attaching all this framing. Yeah. And then we have this screw here. So really, 42 ain't half bad.
Right.
Let's see what happens if we use let's see what we have from this lug. So we can actually look at this.
Anthony, it is Tools with Souls in the background.
I want to...
you can tell because I make all the bad jokes.
I want to... I don't like you in the background. Can we put you in the front room?
Hey, you're running the show, sir. I'm just here.
Man, I would love to be able to get this thing to stay.
Give it a dog biscuit.
Yeah, that usually works. Trying to think how I can do it without
killing yourself.
Yeah, being dangerous just a little bit. We're gonna leave it here for now. We're gonna go. You can see the meter. So we're gonna go from the face of this screw to the actual wire underneath the lug. If I could ever hold it still without shaking. Oh my goodness, what are we getting?
I don't know. Can't read it.
0.01.
There you go.
So that's what a lug would do for you. That lug right there is a 0.01. Wire nut is a 0.4. So you can actually go. So if you're troubleshooting, you're trying to figure out what the problem is. Is it my breaker? Is it my screw? Is it my nuts? Is it my... You can...
Your nuts are too small.
You can go from different points of your breaker back to the bus of this.
Yeah.
So we can do the same thing here. We can go from this lug here, and we could go to this wire right here. And you'll see that we're at 42. We could go to this bolt here, and you'll see there we are 1.4. So you're losing a lot of resistance by the time you go through this panel can is what's happening. If we go directly to this screw, what do we have? It's painted, so I'm not able to read it. If we go straight to the bus, we have 42. If we go to this, scratch that screw, scratch the paint off of it, 40. So we lost 2 on this stupid old screw connection from 19 Diggity Doo. But what we're looking at essentially is this connection right here. This is what we're interested in for this whole thing, okay? This bolt right here, the back of this bolt to the face of that wire. And we are dropping 1.4.
Nice. And Wong, he is wearing his safety Crocs.
Let's see if we can scratch the paint on this side. This is dangerous. I shouldn't do this.
This is what you said not to do.
There, that'll truly test the bolt action there. Okay, so we have 1.3. 1.3 right there. So from this case, this lug being threaded in with the machine style screw, we are 1.5, which is less than a wire nut. I'll scratch it down here. And we'll go to this here. We got 2.7. So there we go. Okay. That's what we're going to do. So now we're going to run a self-tapper, and we're going to see what we get. Because we are getting, once it settles, still less than a wire nut. We are getting 2.6, right?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yes.
So from the face of this, I'll show you what's happening here. Because this is cool for me. I don't know about you guys. This is the face of this screw with the machine threaded screw tapped properly. This is on paint. We didn't even scratch the freaking paint, guys, which you're supposed to do. And then we're going down here to the scratched metal. And we're getting a better connection than a wire nut does. Copper on copper connection. Let's look at the self-tapper. Then we might have to pick up where we left off on Thursday.
I like it.
Let's see what we got. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. We got to unscrew this. Okay. We're going to take everyone's favorite, a self-tapping screw.
That's my favorite.
Oh my goodness! I had a guy today that he just wanted to drill a hole with a regular drill bit, and then insist on making a one of those green bonding screws just magically work for bonding. Like it wasn't even a tap. Like it wasn't a proper tap. It was just a hole. And he was like, we're trying to run it in there, and it was weird. All right. Anyway, here we go. Are we off? We are off. Here we go.
Let's do this.
Okay. That's it. We're not going to do anything else to it.
I'm with you, Paul.
We're just going to check it. We're just going to check it.
Check it.
We're going to check it.
Give it the business. Really tease it.
What do we got? From the face of this to here, We are 39.
Sweet.
We have 39 with the self-tapper and less than a wire nut. And by the way, the wire nut was a copper-on-copper connection. So we're dropping 40 millivolts across the same style. Now, when these aren't tight, you can actually get arcing on these, and that's what happens to your ground wire.
Mm-hmm.
You can see where this is. This is extremely dangerous. This can here. See that? Can you see that arc?
No.
Dang it. Hang on. Gotta fix that. Haha. Wait.
Try epoxy instead.
You want me to glue it on there?
I'm reading the comments, sir.
There we go. I'm getting a little bit of a spark there. Not like I did before. It's not that tight. I wonder why. Huh. I wonder it's because we used a self-tapper with a really aggressive screw thread. There you go. I saw it. Did you see it or not?
I didn't see it.
Oh, I thought I saw one.
It's off. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I can see it. Don't
There
do
we
that.
go.
Don't do that, folks.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not good.
You're good. You're good, Paul.
There's a self-tapper. Let's try let's see what we got. So from the from this self-tapper to here, we have right now it's a pretty good connection right now. We have we still have more than a Wago, but acceptable. But the thing is buildings move and stuff, so we're not always gonna have that. And we're back up to dang dude, we had 150 after moving around for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, right? Wire's designed to move. Wire's not designed to move. Naturally, wire. Why are we looking over here? Can you? Can anyone tell me that?
User error.
Sorry, guys. Oh man! All right, let's do it again. We have 8.3, 31, 43.
He's testing connection.
Who's that?
Curtis Campbell. Wanted to know what you are testing.
Oh, what's up, Curtis? Hey, we're checking. We are checking self-tappers versus machine-threaded screws, and you missed it, dude. We had a wire nut on a series connection. We were dropping millivolts, right? So we had our wire nut was at a 4. Our push Wagos were at roughly a 5, and the lever. I sound like a nerd. The lever 221 Wagos were at a 6. Now I know that's not enough to matter.
Do you know why the average blue collar worker doesn't enjoy talking to an engineer?
Yeah.
All right. Continue with your engineer.
Then we Then we took a 1/4 inch.
He measured it with his pee-pee.
We took a proper cat.
He still had an 1/8 inch to go.
We took a proper 1/8 inch tap here and a 20 bolt, and we had a 1.5, which was better than a copper-on-copper connection wire nut. And then we took a self-tapper. We had a 40 drop and a 150 at one point. We're going to try and we're running a vacuum in series, which is really dangerous. So don't do this at home. But
it's all right. Your vacuum is a lifetime warranty.
Let's do another self-tapper.
Self-tappers are bad, okay?
Let's do this little 1/4 inch one. I feel like it's going to be a little bit tighter.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You would.
I will. I feel like that might grab pretty good, man. Everyone's going to be looking at this and be like, I told you they're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're good. They're good until they loosen. All
they
right.
are not good.
Let's see what we got. What do we got? We got a 3.7. So it's not superior to a. You can see that it's not superior to threaded, which is good news, but it is still electrically acceptable for now. Until you do this and they loosen up.
I hate to tell you this, but I think Paul is cheering for death right now.
4.6. What are we getting on this copper to copper here on this lever nut? 7.7, dude. So these lever nuts, everyone swears by them. They say that they're the best. Blah 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 blah. They're not better than a wire nut, but they're never going to have any issues.
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah. I mean, I passed through school pretty easy. But when I start talking to an engineer, my eyes glaze over, my face loses like all signs of emotion. I'm just like, come on.
I actually like the conversations. I had a lady call me and I was having them put receptacles in a I don't know how much I can say here. In a
place.
Garage.
Okay.
And no, we can't tell this story. Never mind. Can't say it.
You're so eloquent.
Yeah. Long story short, they were using the 83% rule based on a calculation for residential. And then they were trying not to install receptacles because they said that it wasn't residential. And I was like, okay, rip all your feeders out because you can't use 83% because you're not residential. And they changed their mind really quick. That's pretty much what happened there. That's the gist of that.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, let's check out millivolts.
I swear too much for an engineer. I just want you guys to know that.
We're going to check millivolts AC on this meter. I do not know how it does. I haven't used it yet. So we're going to find out together.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, it doesn't work.
By the way, Kaiweets was rated for meters the #1 meter by Nerd Tech.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, actually, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. I've got a 15% off code called TAT. I'll put it in the link in the description if you want this meter. But if you don't, then you don't. But it's pretty cool. Here we go. Let's see what we got.
And if you use code SOULS316 with Studmaster over at Talon Tools, you get free shipping. That's Souls, SOALZ, 316.
No, actually, I don't get anything. And that is DC. That's why that's millivolts DC.
Okay.
But that does not look like a DC symbol. Hang on. Is there a range button? Is there a min-max button? Is there a...
Mad Max button.
Millivolts. Okay. I figured it out. It does it. That's pretty cool. Up until now, like the Fluke 87, which is like $400, $500, is a meter that'll do millivolts. This meter is $40 and it does millivolts. Let's see how it does.
8.
22. 7. There we go. That's consistent. So 7.84. And when we checked this one, it was 7 something. Seems like that one might be more accurate.
Yeah. They mind it with me because I typically am saying it at them. And it's usually you shut the something up.
Let's check this real quick again. Millivolts. $7.8, 7.9, 7.7. Yeah. So this is consistently consistent. That was a good sentence. This $400 multimeter does the exact same thing that this $40 multimeter does, except for, of course, doesn't clamp. But you know what? When I was in construction, let me switch. How do we switch? There we go. And
Action.
This one here.
I don't know what he's doing.
There we go.
Ah! Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So when I was in construction, you almost never need a. Let me turn off this freaking vacuum. There we go. You never you don't use this. You don't do any hot work. You don't do anything. You don't need this. If you do, then you go get it, of course. But for the most part, what you need is something to quickly check voltage that has a good backlight screen. That's $40 that you don't care if it breaks. This thing is thin like an iPhone, and it's got a built-in flashlight on the back, which is pretty cool. And then you've seen all the stuff that it does. This thing is really cool.
J-Dub, you'll have to let me know what you think of it. I mean, it's pretty good. 150. That's good deal.
The other thing here, it auto ranges. So it's always looking for voltage, amps, or ohms. See it where it's cycling between the two?
Yeah.
You don't have to push anything on this meter. As soon as you turn it on, if you want AC volts, you just plug it in. It does AC. If you want DC, it does DC. If you want continuity, it does continuity. Just it automatically switches to whatever you want to do. Pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, that's it, man. We might have to revisit this. This is pretty cool. That is really cool. I knew from all the years of in the code, of why, and there's obviously research behind it. If not, they wouldn't have codes for it. You would hope. Unlike other things that's going on in the world. But anyway, you would think that they would have it down, and it looks like they do. So we were less than a wire nut. That's a solid connection, dude.
Yeah.
We were going through the case.
Hey, make sure you use TAT at checkout there, Anthony, to get that.
TAT 15. I'm gonna put the link. I've got a link for you.
15%.
If you go to one of my shorts, you can find the link too. You can go to my full video on my channel.
Nice.
And it's also there too.
JW, do I follow you on Instagram? You'll have to let me know. I don't remember. I rarely get on Instagram.
So I've got another one coming that's a clamp meter that does 1,000 amps, I think. And it does some other stuff. It does inrush like this meter does. This is a very expensive meter. Has a flashlight, non-contact, all that stuff. And then this is a cheap meter. I'm gonna wind up with two of these, and one is 70 and one is 40, and then you got the best of both worlds. I'm pretty sold on these, honestly. Pretty cool.
Well, like I said, Nerd Tech just rated the Kaiweets #1. So
yeah,
stay away from self-tappers. Absolutely, both in electrical field and at gym. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's good advice. Oh man.
All right, Jay, make sure you tag me in that because I do want to see it. And like I said, I don't get on Instagram very much anymore. It basically all my social media is just to post videos and stuff, and then I'm gone. But
yeah, I don't even do any of that.
No,
hey, appreciate you guys dropping by and everything. I actually had a really fun time making this video and doing this for you guys. It's pretty interesting, especially when you're asking people to do stuff, and you know why you're looking at the code. It says 2 threads.
I'm seeing if they know they can predict what I'm thinking when you're asking guys to do stuff. I'm like, damn, he did it.
All in all, man, it's just really interesting stuff to see, like, things that you can't usually see. You can capture it on a meter and stuff.
Thank you, Curtis.
What was that?
We have 4. We still have 11 people in here and only 14 thumbs up. So,
oh, that's okay. Yeah, stay tuned for more, man. We're gonna do this again on Thursday. I think we're gonna do something a little bit different with it, but Yeah, more electrical stuff to come. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.
See you guys Thursday.
Hang on 2 seconds before I leave. Let me make sure I'm in this. Okay, I am. I actually did it properly this time. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for you to end the stream, you stupid. Since the stream is still going.